What's a rabbi? Who is a rabbi? What's a Zionist? Who is a Zionist? So there's a phenomenon in the world where anti-Zionists are called anti-Semites. And you can have an anti-Zionist who is also an anti-Semite, but you can have an anti-Zionist who's not an anti-Semite. You could have an anti-Semite who's not an anti-Zionist. There's plenty of Israeli anti-Semites. They hate God, they hate Orthodox Jews, but they're Zionists. And you have plenty of people that hate Zionism, but love Jews and love God. They just hate the corrupted Zionism of today. I have a rule that I break often, that I try not to watch any YouTube videos where the title is Rabbi. For example, Daniel Gladstein. I think he's entertaining, informative, gives good shiurim. But he's trying to sell himself. He's always trying to sell his books, sponsorships. Nothing wrong, maybe, with that. But he does it as a rabbi, right? Sorry, Daniel Gladstein, for calling you out, but you kind of baited yourself by titling yourself rabbi. And you didn't necessarily do anything crazy, because everyone on YouTube calls themselves rabbi. Everyone in Lakewood calls themselves rabbi. But that's how I started the video, with the question, who is a rabbi? To me, a rabbi is like Rebbe almost. Yeah, rabbi, Rebbe, right? I don't know, is that the same thing? Rav? Rav is rabbi. Is Rav Rebbe? I don't know. But to me, like, the last Rebbe that I know about is, let's say, Rebbe Nachman. You know? If you open up the phone book in Lakewood, New Jersey, 08701 is the zip code. If you open up the phone book, the white pages, every single person there is listed as rabbi. My father was listed as rabbi. I would be listed as rabbi if I was listed there. And to me, there's no difference between saying rabbi in the phone book versus rabbi on YouTube versus rabbi of a synagogue. You know, they're all the same thing. None of them are actually rabbi. Today, rabbi, the title rabbi, doesn't really mean anything. How do you get the title rabbi? I have friends, or not friends, but people that I know personally, who know me personally, who we smoked joints together, hit on girls together, did all kinds of things together, that they call themselves rabbi, and maybe even their parents call them rabbi, maybe even other people call them rabbi. Why? Because they took a test, and they passed it, or they failed it, and the school gave them the title anyway. But they went through a program, and they came out the other end called rabbi. I'm the chief rabbi of Israel. And that's okay, because that's obviously a joke. My Instagram still says it, my Facebook used to say it. It's obviously a joke. No one looks at me and says, oh, this guy's obviously the chief rabbi of Israel, right? But if you're going to grow a beard and put on a black hat and jacket and a white shirt and call yourself rabbi, people are dumb and they don't really know the difference between a real rabbi and not a rabbi. They don't know what smicha is, really. You're kind of scamming people. Daniel Gladstein, I think he's a great guy, right? But is he a rabbi? What makes him a rabbi? I don't know. I don't know why he thinks he's a rabbi. Like, what makes him a rabbi? Because he got smicha from someone who got smicha from someone who got smicha from someone who got smicha from Moses? I don't think he would claim that. I don't think he claims that he has smicha from Moses. So when he calls himself Rabbi Daniel Gladstein on YouTube, what's his claim? That he got smicha from someone who got smicha from someone who just made up a new smicha? Or is he lying to the world and claiming that he has smicha from Moses, from Moshe Rabbeinu? I don't think he would tell anyone that he has smicha from Moses. So why does he call himself rabbi? So the answer would be because he has a synagogue, he wants to lead the synagogue, he wants the honor that is appropriate for someone who leads a synagogue. Right? And he needs to distinguish himself. I'm not one of you guys. I'm higher than you guys. I'm your leader. I'm your rabbi, and you have to look up to me. My response would be, you're not a rabbi. You're a chaplain. Just like the army has chaplains and police units have chaplains or whatever. The synagogue has a chaplain. You're the chaplain, you know. Maybe a better title would be Torah scholar. Scholar Daniel Gladstein. If it said that on YouTube, Scholar Daniel Gladstein, I wouldn't come up with this complaint, right? But the title of rabbi, it's very misleading. It's very misleading. You're not a rabbi. A rabbi, traditionally, is someone who gets smicha, right? But the thing is that smicha today is not smicha. It's just a made-up thing. You went to some academy, some Talmudic school, and they gave you a test, and you passed it, and they gave you a document that says you're a rabbi now. But it's very misleading because traditionally, throughout the ages, smicha was a chain of command from Moses to Joshua to the elders to whoever. It was a very specific chain of command. And it wasn't just a knowledge test. It wasn't like you passed the knowledge test and you got smicha. It was much more than that. It was similar to the relationship that the prophets had with their students, where they had such a connection and desire and love. They were bound soul and soul. The student's soul was bound to the soul of his master, that he literally took upon his soul. The student took in his soul, he made room for it, and he embraced and he took the soul of his master. We don't have that today. We don't have such relationships with our teachers. And our teachers don't have such relationships with their teachers. We don't have such a chain of command. There are people that claim that, oh, we started a new smicha. The Arizal started a new smicha. There's a smicha today from the Arizal. I mean, even if you can trace your lineage from your teacher to his teacher to his teacher to his teacher to Arizal, that's not smicha. The Arizal didn't have smicha. I'm sorry to say, I'm not trying to offend the Arizal, but he didn't have smicha from Moshe. As holy as the Arizal was, he did not have smicha from the Arizal, from Moses, you know. As far as we know, the smicha that we had from Moses to Joshua to the elders and so on and so forth was lost completely. So for people today to be walking around in Lakewood or on YouTube and calling themselves rabbi, it's very, very misleading, because it makes us think that they have a chain of command from Moses, which they don't. They have no authority. If Daniel Gladstein comes out and tells you on something on YouTube, he has zero authority he has zero authority, period, full stop, he has zero authority. He could open up a book, an ancient book, 1,500, 2,000 years old, written by someone who had smicha, and that might be authoritative. But he himself has no authority. He's just a regular guy. Daniel Gladstein, I don't care how much you like him or how much you think he's amazing or how much you think he's Mashiach. He's just a regular guy, like me and you. He might be more from than us. He might know more Torah than us, but he's just a regular guy. I'm sure he jerks off. I'm sure once in a while he does averos. I'm sure he does bad things also. I'm sure of it. I might be wrong. It could be Daniel Gladstein never in his life wasted seed. But I don't believe that. I think he's just a regular guy just like you and me. L'chaim tzadikim.